What is up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to a brand new episode of the Ironheart Podcast. This is episode 44. The Ironheart Podcast is a podcast about the film, TV, and entertainment industry and marketing. My name is Lungile Mayindi, and welcome to today's episode. Today's episode is pretty cool, it's pretty relaxed, but still pretty exciting. Okay, so in today's episode, we're going to be talking about taxes and bookkeeping for your creative business. We're going to be talking about marketing your business, the tools I use, things that have worked for me, and we're also going to talk about film making labs, particularly the Durban Film Access Program that I was part of last year. So hope you guys are good. Hope you guys are keeping safe, healthy, and getting work, and also staying creative. So I'm excited for this episode. So let's get into it. Okay. So recently I've been thinking about sharing more tips on how I do things, so basically one thing that I thought about was, taxes and bookkeeping for a creative business. So I've been running my business for like 3 years now, and I thought I'd share some of my tips. So instead of sharing the creative stuff, maybe also share information about the more admin business stuff, and maybe I'll help you, maybe you'll teach me in the comments, I don't know. Okay, so recently, I've been running my business for 3 years, and I realized besides doing all the creative stuff, talking to clients, you still need to do all this admin stuff, this compliance stuff, which includes taxes and bookkeeping. And I've learned a lot. I've made a lot of mistakes, and I just want to talk about what my approach is. It's not the best one. I'm sure there are better solutions out there. I also maybe suggest that if you want to know about taxes and bookkeeping, speak to an accountant, speak to a bookkeeper just to get more information, do more research. So take whatever I say with a little grain of salt, okay? So I know when you run a business, you need to prepare to pay taxes. So the first thing you need to do is you need to make sure that whenever you get paid into your business account. So you need to have your own personal account for yourself and your own business account. And you need to make your business transactions go off your business bank account. And one rule that I have to make me keep track of my taxes, basically for every amount that I get paid, I like to keep 30% and move it to a different account. So for every job, I like to move 30% and move it to a different account, so that by the time tax time comes and I'm doing my submissions and stuff, I know I've got some money saved up for tax. So that's my way of sort of keeping it in a low budget type of way. Another thing that I do bookkeeping in terms of I use cloud software, accounting softwares like Sage and Quickbooks. You might be thinking, why are you using both of them? They do the same thing. I usually used to use Quickbooks, paying $250, almost $300 a month, and it was really easy to use. I could link it to my bank account, and all the transactions that go off my business bank account, I can see them and I can categorize them from airtime, petrol, things like that. So I really like QuickBooks, but recently I got an accountant to help me with my taxes last year to help me for one of the financial years, and they suggested that I move to Sage because it was easier for him, I guess, but I still use both of them because I really like QuickBooks. I know I'm doing double the work, but I really like QuickBooks because I like the overview of checking my stuff, like how much money I make this month, last year, this year, etc., per quarter. I know you can probably do that in Sage, but I just haven't gotten too familiar. So I'm in a transition mode to Sage. Eventually, I'll probably be using Sage only at a certain point. So it's really important to use these bookkeeping softwares. I mean, they're really, really good to keep track of everything that you buy or money that's coming in and coming out, and for you to categorize it. So when it comes to tax time, you know how to sort things out. Another thing that was a big mistake that I did, I used my business bank account like my own little wallet. I was sending people money, like my family, getting money from them. And once I did my taxes with this accountant guy, he was asking me, what is this for? I couldn't even remember some of the transactions. And I was like, fuck, I really messed up. So it was a shitty lesson that I learned that, don't treat your business bank account like it's just your bank or whatever, your personal bank account. So that's a lesson that I learned. And so now I basically just use it for business expenses and business income, and then I also pay myself a little bit of a salary. And if I want to send money that's to my parents or whatever, I use my personal account just to keep things clean and simple. Those are the things that you think about when you thinking about taxes for your business. So, I know I said save 30%. I save 30% of every amount of money that I make, but that's obviously probably on the high end. The amount of tax you'll pay for your business, it depends on how much money you've generated in the financial year. So there are thresholds. So there are some thresholds you'll pay 30%, some will be lower, some will go as low as 7%. But in my mind, I just said, let me just keep it, So depending if you make 200,000 or more than 200,000 or more than 500,000 or a million or whatever, obviously the tax you're going to pay on that is completely different. And also, if you pay yourself, you probably need to also pay for PAYE, so tax for yourself personally. And as your company, you paying yourself, you might have to pay PAYE and UIF. So there's a lot of technical stuff. But one thing that I've just figured out, maybe for me, it's just better to work with an accountant, to find an accountant you trust, accountant that you can forward and let them help you when it comes to your tax things, because they went to school for these things, and it's nice to avoid them and think you can do things yourself. But I don't know. I've been trying. I forget every time I do my taxes. I don't even remember how I did it. So I have an accountant now, and I pay him like $3,000 to do my financial statements and my submissions for the year. I'm planning to work with him so he does my taxes every month for like a monthly fee, just so that I don't have to focus on it, and I can focus more on the business and the vision and being more creative and things like that. So, they really help. They know what they're doing. So it's really good to look for like a decent accountant that can help you. Someone who probably deals with like small businesses, and they'll help you and tell you what you need to do and things like that. So, so that's a little bit about like taxes and bookkeeping for your creative business. It's not something you want to do, but it's something that you have to do, and you have to learn how to do it, because business comes with admin and all these operational and compliance things that you have to do. Okay. So the next thing I want to talk about is business marketing. So if you run a creative business, I think it's really, really important that you market your business. And there's a whole bunch of ways to market your business. You can make a commercial, which is probably costs a lot of money. Probably something you probably won't be able to do, but there's a lot of other things you can do. Okay, so I'm going to talk about things that I've done, things that I think sort of helped me. Okay, so the first thing that I did, I created a Google My Business account. So basically, this is like creating a database of your business on Google. And you create your company and you put what services you have. So let's say if you're running a bakery in Springs or wherever your hometown is, you'll say Springs Bakery, and you list it so that someone's ever Googling a bakery in Springs, you're going to pop up because you're on the Google My Business database. You can add pictures, you can add information about your business. You can even add your contact details, emails, website, and things like that. So it's a free tool that you can use. Just get on Google My Business. It's very, very simple. I'll put a link below if you're listening to this podcast, maybe in the show notes. Or if you're watching this on YouTube, I also put a description. I put a link in the description if you're watching this on YouTube, so you can create your own business on Google My Business. Another cool thing to do is to upload your business details on a business directory, like if there's like a trade or business directory that you can get on, hopefully if it's free, that's really great. Some of them are paid. It really helps you get out there and put your name out there. For instance, I've listed my company on Biz Community, and it helps. It also helps with your SEO and things like that. There's the free version, and then there's a part where you can pay, and then you can do press releases on Biz Community. So there's different sites like this. Some are paid, some are free. Another thing you can do is content marketing. This is one of my favorites way of marketing your business. This is where you create content from Instagram posts to carousels to podcasts to YouTube videos. That's why I create this podcast, because I want to market my business, and I love talking to people and sharing my knowledge. It just keeps me busy when I'm not working. So that's one thing you can do. And when it comes to content marketing, you have to choose something that you're comfortable with. I think it's really, really important, because it's free and you don't have to pay for like Google ads or Facebook ads. It's free, and in the long run, it really pays off. So for me, creating content on YouTube, I've had people contact me and say, "Oh, I found you on YouTube. I was looking for a production company." And they would call me and things like that and look for work for me. So I think it works. It just takes time. And you know what? It's a way to market yourself if you don't have like a marketing budget, if you're still starting out, if you're still a small business, a small creative business, or whatever business you run, So I think it's cool, And obviously with content marketing, there's a lot of social media sites. So I think you really need to choose which sites you want to be active on, whether it's LinkedIn or Facebook or Twitter. I think a big thing that will determine where you put content on is where your clients are mostly. So if your clients are a certain group of people, you think about where do they hang out most of the time. If they're on LinkedIn, then double down on LinkedIn. Put posts, carousels, and video content. I think it's really good to make content, because you can make that content, and you make it so that you can showcase your skills and your knowledge and attract the right type of customer. So even in your content marketing, when you're creating videos or podcasts, you can say top tips. Like for instance, most of my clients are producers. So if I make content and I say top 5 money saving tips for TV producers, top post-production tips for film producers, like every time I put the client's name or noun, I'm directing it at them. So if I know, then if a producer sees my post or my YouTube video, they're going to click because it's directed to them. You can be more specific and be more targeted versus just being generic. And that helps. I've noticed when I created posts on LinkedIn directed at content producers, I'd get a lot of interaction and comments and engagement from those posts. So you got to know what your market is, who your target market is, who your clients are. So look at back who you've been doing work for, and then look at the average. Who are those people? Where do they live? And what do they read? Are they in magazines? Do they read certain trade journals? So you need to be where they are. So you need to go to where they are. Okay. So that's one thing that I think you need to think about when you're marketing your business. But obviously, there's so many ways of marketing your business. You can do PR stunts. You can do viral videos. In fact, I would even say just Google ways to market your business and then try all of them and then see which one will get you the most traction and the most impact. And then once you find the strategy that gets you the most impact, then you double down on that. So, yeah. Because, I really don't think you can be in business and not market. You might not have a Coca-Cola budget, but you need to be creative. You need to be able to get your business out there and get people talking and knowing about your service. Because it's not just about knowing people that know you. You want the people that don't know you to know about your business. So, going on around here, but I hope this makes sense. Okay, before I get back into the normal programming, I just want to let you guys know that this podcast is brought to you by Ironheart Films. So Ironheart Films is a video production agency based in Randburg. They've worked on the biggest brands in South Africa. They've worked on different productions from music videos, TV series, TV promos, and a variety of productions. They do video production from shooting to post-production, editing, and color grading. So if you are a business owner and you are looking for a production agency that's going to help you with a marketing video, reach out to Ironheart Films. Check them out. I think they're really cool. That's why I work for them. But yeah, just wanted to tell you guys about Ironheart Films. It's a really great video production agency, which I run. So just to clear that out if you do not know. But we do a lot of cool work. And if you're looking for video production work, hit us up, check out our website. We're on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, and also YouTube. Okay, cool. Now back to the podcast. Okay, cool. The next thing I want to talk about is film labs. I have been part of a filmmaking lab last year, and it was amazing. I just wanted to talk about it last year from I think May or April or March. I don't remember. But sometime around that time, I was part of the Durban Film Access program. It was such a great program. We did training for 12 weeks. So basically you came with a film project, and then you submitted it at the beginning, and then you got chosen for the program. And then you had you had to do a 12-week course that take different classes that'll help you with your project, how to package it better to make a proper film package for your project. You also had a mentor that you'd meet every week, and you could ask them questions about the classes and things like that. I think the program was amazing. I wish film school was that more hands-on. A lot of things that you learn about the business of film, I learned at that program. I didn't learn a lot in film school. Film school was very theory and history of film and stuff like that. They didn't delve into the business of film. And I wish a lot of people got the experience, a lot of film labs, from people that have produced movies, that have worked with distributors, produced movies for cinema, went to festivals, marketed their film projects. I really think it was a really, really, real cool project. It was a cool filmmaking lab. So, for instance, like I said, we had the course, we had one-on-one sessions with a mentor every week. They helped us package our project, from making a log line, synopsis, script breakdowns, shooting schedule, budget. I learned stuff about having a prep schedule, a production schedule, a post schedule, a finance plan, a marketing plan, a distribution plan, comps, and a film treatment. Basically, how to have a proper film package, so that if you go meet distributors at a film market, you have a whole package. I know you can learn some of these things on YouTube, but it was nice to kind of do it with other producers that have produced other feature films and learn about what their process was. It was a really, really cool process. I learned a lot of things that I probably wouldn't have learned anywhere else. And at the end, we ended up pitching for work, not for work, man, to get into a bigger program with other senior producers. It was a really cool program. Another thing that I guess one thing that I sort of didn't like is that maybe this is the con for film labs. I've realized there's a lot of them. Some of them want you to pay. This one was cool because they didn't want you to pay to enter. They actually paid us to participate in the program. And also, I really dig that. But some of the other film labs out there, they want you to pay 500 Rand just so that maybe you could be part of 6 people that are going to be part of the lab. So those ones are a little shady to me. I feel like you're wasting your money. Maybe they are good, but I feel like they're just ripping people off that are just young and wanting to get into film. And I don't know. I just don't like them. I feel like those ones that want you to pay are a little shitty. Because, I feel like they 1,000 people apply, but only 6 people get approved what happens to the other money? I don't know. I don't. Something makes me feel weird about that. And then another thing I've been thinking about is some of these film labs. Yes, they'll train you, but they won't. Not that they won't give you access to money to make your project. Maybe they'll give you access to networks and things like that. They're great, but I think sometimes maybe the downfall of it is they're very theoretical. They're not practical. They don't promote a sense of like having a rebel spirit and hacker culture where you're going to try and make your movie by any means. Or, it's always like you have to package your project, speak to distributors, speak to producers. It feels like film school or high school or whatever, where you have to be very, prim and proper versus giving you the tools so that, you don't have to be walking around begging for money from finances to make your movie. I wish they had a little bit of a rebel spirit to them, So yeah, that's one thing I don't like about labs. I feel like they sort of empower us, but also at the same time they disempower us because now we end up with a film package and now we're running around asking for money from investors to say they must give us money to make our movies. And maybe that's how the movie business is. You can't make movie without investors. But I don't know, man. I feel like it's a little. I'm a rebel, so I wish they were more like, go do it. Here's the tools. Cut your movie, make it happen in one location. Have 2 actors in your movie. Go do it, and we'll help you make it. Like have that rebel thing of like you can make it happen if you want to. Not that now you're gonna have to be going begging for like millions of rands from other people to believe in your dream, where you don't even know if you'll make money or even pay them back. I don't know. My thinking is about like, as a filmmakers, we need to be making as many movies as possible, marketing them, failing, and doing it over and over again. But just doing a film lab and walking around with a package for years trying to make a movie, it's the wrong way, man. Like it's not the best way. The real way should be like you make as many shitty low budget movies as possible, and you will get better. The movies will get better. You'll have a library, and you'll be out there meeting distributors, and you won't need them as much. So I don't know. That's my thought. Anyway, this has been an episode of the Einhard podcast, and my name is Lungile. Thank you so much for listening. I hope this podcast has been helpful. I hope you guys are learning things, picking up things, and I hope it's very helpful and helps you guys. So if you like this podcast and you're listening to this on a podcast platform, please go to the show notes. You've got our email there. Send us a mail. We'd love to hear from you guys. We'd love to hear love from you guys, whatever you guys think. And yeah, and if you're watching us on YouTube, please like, subscribe, hit the bell button so you can be notified every time we drop a new video. And yeah, would love to hear from you guys what you think we should talk about in the next video, more things you would like to see, and things like that. Okay, cool, guys. I'll see you guys in the next podcast. Peace out.